Emily Carter sat in front of her mirror, staring at the reflection that had haunted her for years. The girl she had become, the one she fought to be, now seemed like a fragile illusion. The world was changing around her. The government had issued new policies, defining sex strictly by birth biology. Suddenly, everything she had fought for, her name, her identity, her rights, felt like they were slipping through her fingers. Her school records were altered overnight. The bathroom she had used for years was now off limits. Her friends looked at her with pity, some with unease. The weight of the world pressed on her chest, making it hard to breathe. At home, her mother, Claire, held her close. "No law can change who you are, baby," she whispered. But Emily wasn't sure anymore. Her father, Mark, sat in the corner, silent. He had always struggled with her transition. He loved her, she knew that, but love and acceptance weren't always the same. "I don't know who I am anymore," Emily finally admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Mark looked at her, his eyes filled with unspoken words. Maybe it's time we take a step back. Not to erase anything, but to truly find out who you are, beyond all the noise." Emily's heart clenched. Could she really take that step? Emily found herself in her childhood bedroom, surrounded by faded posters and stuffed animals that once defined a different version of her. She traced her fingers over an old trophy, one she had won before she ever transitioned. Lucas, her best friend, sat beside her. "I remember when you got that. You were unstoppable." "I was. But was I happy?" Emily questioned. Lucas hesitated. "I don't know. But I know you were strong." As she flipped through old journals, she saw glimpses of herself, before the transition, before the struggle. There were moments of happiness, moments of confusion, moments of pain. Each memory was a thread, weaving together the complex person she had become. For the first time in years, Emily allowed herself to grieve, not for the girl she had built, but for the child she had once been. At school, Emily faced stares and whispers. Some of her old friends had distanced themselves. The track team, once her safe space, no longer knew where she fit. One day, a group of classmates cornered her in the hallway. "So, what are you now?" One sneered. Emily swallowed hard. "I'm just trying to figure it out." Their laughter stung. "Guess you were just confused all along." Emily clenched her fists. Maybe she was confused. Maybe she had spent so long trying to be someone that she forgot to just be. That night, she broke down. "I can't do this," she sobbed into her mother's arms. "I don't belong anywhere." Claire kissed her forehead. "You belong wherever your heart finds peace. And we'll walk every step with you until you find it." Mark, who had been listening, finally spoke. "Maybe it's not about choosing a side, Emily. Maybe it's about embracing every part of who you are." Slowly, Emily began to see herself in a new light. She wasn't just her past or her present. She wasn't just a label. She started reconnecting with things she had left behind, old hobbies, old friends, even her birth name. Not out of shame, but out of a desire to understand herself fully. With the support of her family, she joined therapy, not to fix herself, but to understand herself. She explored memories, questioned feelings, and, most importantly, allowed herself grace. One evening, she stood before her father. "Dad, do you think I made a mistake?" Mark sighed, his face filled with emotion. "No, sweetheart. I think you were searching. And maybe, just maybe, the answer was never about picking one path, but about embracing all of yourself." Emily's eyes welled with tears. "I think I want to try being just me." The first day back on the track was terrifying. The whispers were still there, But Emily no longer let them define her. She ran, not for a label, not for validation, but for herself. Her parents watched from the stands, side by side. Mark squeezed Claire's hand. "She's incredible." "She always was," Claire said with a smile. As Emily crossed the finish line, she felt something she hadn't in a long time: peace. She had found herself. Not in laws, not in society's approval, but in the love of those who saw all of her. And that was enough.